Hello there everybody, welcome to Sweden that has been having almost summer this week, and from what I understand the sun will continue, so might be more days in my new sun chair, but right now it's time for another summary of the month that has been passing by. May was so-so. It hasn't been raining in interesting stuff or new stuff at the second-hand stores and the thrift stores, but I don't complain, because as April was such a great month. It was great to have a month where you can take a breather, a little slower month. And I have a feeling that June will be a little bit better. So let's go through the stuff I have been finding. A whole lot of CDs, some 7 inches, and also a little portion of full-length vinyls. Starting with synthesizers, and some of the most iconic synthesizer bands. We have, of course, Depeche Mode, and the singles 81 to 85, their first compilation that they originally released in 1985, and then it looked like this. I have that one on cassette, not copy, original cassette, and I also have the American release. This one is the re-release that came out in 1998, at the same time as they released their second compilation, the singles 86 to 98. So they made another release of this one that contains 2 songs that wasn't on the original one also. So versions of Photographic and Just Can't Get Enough. And from Depeche Mode, the step is not far away to Erasure, as Vince Clarke was one of the founders of the Depeche Mode once upon a time. I found 2 Erasure albums actually. This is I Say, I Say, I Say from 1994, containing the among others the hit single Always. It's a great album, great synthesizers, Vince Clarke in his ace, even though there are also stronger albums overall. Some songs that are sounds a little bit like synthesizer style of songs from musicals when you listen to how the melodies are composed. But still, it's a great album. Run to the Sun, really great. I Love Saturdays, also a great one. So classic vintage Erasure, even though I'm missing some faster song, but still great one. This one I haven't been listening to. I Say, I Say, I Say I have as cassette copy, so this is an upgrade. This one I didn't have before. This is a newer Erasure than the previous one, 2003, Other People's Songs. It is an album where they do covers of different artists. We have Peter Gabriel, Salisbury Hill, Everybody's Gotta Learn Sometime, the Corgis, Make Me Smile, which was a minor hit for them, When Will I See You Again, the great song by 3 Degrees, and we have Elvis, Can't Help Falling in Love. We have also Video Killed the Radio Star, Buggles. So going to be very interesting, even if all songs may not be great covers, but it's really great to have for their Erasure compilation. This one was very interesting. This is a 3-box CD set, Best of Soul, Volume 1. It's a low-budget release, released by something called Galaxy Music. And it is 3 artists on each, 1 artist on each CD, so there's 3 artists totally. It's 1 CD with Rolls Royce, really great. I have said before, I have way too little with Rolls Royce. It is 1 CD with Tavares that I have nothing with, and also a CD with Sister Sledge that I can survive with. But it became even better because I didn't see it doesn't say on here on the sleeve. It says on the back here though that this is Greatest Hits Live. So this is actually live concerts on CD. It doesn't say when or where the concert is from. The only thing I can tell is that Sister Sledge concert is a later one, since they have Frankie here, who is from 1985. But hopefully they are. I listened to quick peeks and it sounds really great. Sounds like they're having great orchestras, all 3 of these artists. So it'll be very interesting. Sophie B. Hawkins, sadly forgotten 90s artist today, and the album Wailer, containing As I Lay Me Down and Right Beside You. That was one of my favorites back in 1994, and I still think it is a real smooth and awesome pop track. So I felt like I gotta have that one. A compilation with Chicago, The Heart of Chicago, 1967 to 97. I have, of course, a more complete compilation with all Chicago's songs, hit songs, but this one is their love songs only, and I felt like, why not? Good to have their softest songs as a part of the collection. Another sadly forgotten 90s artist today is the band Texas from Scotland. That had great songs in the 90s and the beginning of the 00s. Black Eyed Boy and Summer Sun, awesome song. I haven't heard anything from Texas in the past years, so I was very surprised to find this one at Erikshjälpen. An album called The Conversation from 2013. So this one is going to be very interesting. Just listen to how a more modern Texas sounds like. This one is very interesting. I've shown Edmundo Ross albums every now and then. Now I managed to find one on CD also. Strings Latino, and this is originally released in 1968, but it's really good, really smooth, real great orchestra. The only problem I have that it's too short. It's only half an hour, but real interesting one. My first Edmundo Ross on any other format than a vinyl. We have this one that looked very interesting. This is Oasis and something called Familiar to Millions. A special double CD includes 18 Oasis songs at their live best. So this is a special release with a concert, 2 concerts at Wembley Stadium. So really interesting. I don't think that this one is. Of course, it's official since it's their label Helter Skelter, but I think this one was made specifically for the fans only. I don't know about that, but I haven't seen that one when when it was released in 2000. Some Swedish stuff. We have Arne Domnerus, Gösta Tiselius, among others, in a compilation called The Legendary Years, Volume 9. I have other volumes of this one, of this series, of Swedish jazz, but I didn't have this one, so it was really great to have. Swedish singer Lars Winnerbäck, I had discovered recently that it actually is real great. It's an album called Come, from 1999. And we have another singer in almost familiar style, Peter Lemark. As you know, that this is one of my absolute favorite artists from Sweden. This is a live concert called Buonasera. Peter Lemark doesn't like to do live shows. He has a fear of performing on stage in front of an audience, but he has still released a couple live albums. I have a more modern one. This one is from 1993, and a real great concert. I have this one on a copy and I want to upgrade it to an original one. 7-inch singles. I have said before that I collect Eurovision Song Contest. I have shown my Eurovision Song Contest collection before, so I found two more. Here we have the Norwegian entry in 1984, Dolly Deluxe, two girls that were frequently participating in the Norwegian national finals in the beginning of the 80s, and they managed finally in 1984 to go to the Eurovision. Their song in Norway were called Lenge leve livet, and had a real cult classic when it comes to choreography. It was likely it was inspired by some kind of a long skiing tours. So it is on YouTube. Take a look at it. But the main side here is the English version. Life Was Made for Living. And Germany had doesn't say which year it is. I put it right here. A singer, Katja Epstein, that participated with the song called Theater, written by Ralph Siegel, who, among others, wrote Nicole's classic Ein bisschen Frieden. Not a favorite of mine, but good to have. Leaving the Eurovision, I don't think we ever get to see the day when Simple Minds is in the Eurovision Song Contest. I certainly hope we don't. But here they are, Love Song. And the B-side to This Earth That You Walk Upon. Flash in the Pan from 1982. And Where Were You? On the other side, Don't Vote. Rod Stewart, Forever Young. And on the B-side, Days of Rage. Managed to find also a jazz EP, Al Coon and Bob Brookmeyer Quintet. Shine, I Should Care, Lazy Stomp and Good Spirit. The quality of this one is so-so. Not the best quality, but I felt like I couldn't leave it behind, so 1956, I couldn't leave it behind. And the same goes for this one. Swedish comedian Carl Gustav Lindstedt, and two comedy stuff that he did. As you know, I collect old Swedish comedy, and this one is released on blue vinyl. But in this case, it's also the quality is not the best. So as I collect old Swedish comedy, I felt like I couldn't leave it behind since I never seen this one before. But I hope I found a better copy later on. Full lengths. Let's go to that. And we have starting off with some jazz. This one I think is pretty ordinary. Frank Sinatra, L.A. is my lady. I bought this one. I'm no huge fan of Frank Sinatra's newer stuff. I prefer the earlier recordings that he did before the 50s and so on. But this one is having Quincy Jones and his orchestra. So as I love Quincy Jones, I had to have this one. It also contains some really great musicians. You have George Benson here, you have Lionel Hampton here, among others. Ray Brown is here, so it's some really great musicians in this one. This one was also very, very interesting. I listened to it actually. This is Diana Ross and the Supremes, and with the Temptations. Original soundtrack from TCB, and TCB was a television special made by Motown. Temptations and Supremes did several albums together with their music together. I like the Temptations. Not the biggest Supremes fan, but okay, it works. Definitely Diana Ross' best period in time. I don't collect 60s soul, but I felt like this one looked very, very interesting, and it's really good. I just love the orchestra. It's such a magnificent orchestra here, and of course it is live. They do the orchestra. They have made some fantastic arrangements of their old songs, which makes the songs even better than they actually were, in my opinion. So this one is real great live soul album. Jazz, Earl Hines and Roy Eldridge, one of the more boring sleeves that I've seen, but it is actually a live recording as Village Vanguard in 1965, this Earl Hines trio that is the main artist, but it has guest stars Roy Eldridge and Coleman Hawkins, and it sounds really good. Both the stuff with the trio and with the horns with Eldridge and Coleman Hawkins. This one I couldn't resist. Charlie Christian. Nice spelling of Charlie. The thing is, when it comes to Charlie Christian, as I said in my videos, when I show my Benny Goodman videos, you normally find Charlie Christian with Benny Goodman Orchestra playing the same songs as usual. AC/DC Current, 7 Come 11, Stealing Apples, and so on. They're great, but I have those one already. But this one is containing songs that I've been looking for very much. Charlie Christian together with a lot of bebop musicians. I have an EP with them, and now I found the complete album. A live concert at the Mintons, where Charlie Christian plays with Thelonious Monk, Kenny Clark, Joe Guy, Nick Finton, and Teddy Hill's band. Bebop music with Charlie Christian. Only to find other recordings than with Benny Goodman and Charlie Christian is hard enough, and this one was real great. I listened to it. It's fantastic swinging groove. I got another Jimmy Smith this month. The incredible Jimmy Smith got my mojo working. Another album with Oliver Nelson, also with Kenny Burrell and Grady Tate on guitar and drums. I haven't listened to this one yet, but looks very, very interesting. You have versions of I Can't Get No Satisfaction, beat the Rolling Stone song, and also Johnny Come Lately. So it's trying some real interesting stuff here. Oh, mosquitoes. So it's going to be very, very nice, and also a verb release. Leaving jazz, and we have Steely Dan, Countdown to Ecstasy. Listen to it, and real great, funky, some smooth stuff. Even if I might be even more fond of their later stuff, I think this one is real great. So I'm really hoping to find a whole lot more Steely Dan down the line. And we have Billy Joel and Songs in the Attic from 1980. This is a live album with the live tracks taken from various places in USA, and with many of the best songs here, of course. Say Goodbye to Hollywood and so on. So this one looks very interesting. And some Swedish stuff to end it all. Swedish balladeer Carl Anton, that I have said I like very much. Nothing is more, very few things I would say, is more summer than having a nice Swedish ballad by a great balladeer. This is Carl Anton, Trubadurens egen visa, the balladeer's own song, released on Music for Pleasure. I was a little scared that this meant that this was some kind of a low-budget compilation, but it looks like an original one. Real great. So, that was my May. Just in the nick of time before I did my editing, I actually managed to buy 2 more records. So why not? The month is still not over, so I can put in those as well. I bought this one, Eddie Floyd, which was more or less a blind buy. I had no idea who this was. There are several names on this soul music from the 70s that I haven't got used to yet. Baby, lay your head down gently on my bed. But I listened to it on YouTube and I realized that this was actually really good. It's released on the Stax. Sweet soul music with a lot of horns, some funky, some reggae stuff. Sounded really good from what I heard. And I also bought this 12-inch. It's not often I buy 12-inch, but I felt like this one I might buy. Urbaniacs, which is a band that I only heard of once, and this is thanks to VC and the member Echo Voice, who shows synthpop, alternative, indie pop. I've learned a lot of new bands thanks to him, and this is one of them. He showed a single with, or it was album with this band, and I searched it up, and it looked really good actually. Sounded really good. So I finally found this 12-inch Love Don't Grow on Trees, instrumental version and vocal version. So those were the stuff I bought today. Let's see what June has to offer. We walk into the summer period now, and that means that there will be a whole lot more flea markets in the people's gardens and so on. So and different kind of flea markets down alongside of the roads and so on. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what June has to offer. So until next time, I hope that each and every one of you continues to enjoy this sunny spring, if you have that, and take care of everybody, and so long.